I'll be able to see it here. To the Tolerance Oval right here in Abu Dhabi. We are at Zayed Cricket Stadium, and this is one of the top class, world class facilities where we are about to witness an enthralling game of cricket, of T20 cricket between top two county sides. It is Essex Eagles taking on Somerset. Right, so we are just about to start the proceedings, but before that, let me tell you that the toss has already taken place, and the news from the centre is that Essex have won the toss and they have decided to bat first. My name is Shoaib Ahmed. A very, very warm welcome to all our viewers all around the globe, because we're streaming live on all our YouTube channels. You can watch us on Abu Dhabi Cricket YouTube page, as well as on the YouTube pages of Essex Cricket as well, so as Somerset. So right now, as you can see on your screens, both the teams are raring to go. And as I said, the news from the middle is that Essex have won the toss and they have decided to bat first. Now that is a good toss to win. The conditions look perfect to come out and bat and put on a big total on board, so that Somerset, when they come out to bat, will have a task at their hands. But will they be able to put that score on board is the question. The answer, we'll find that out pretty soon. Let's quickly look at the teams that are going to play here. For Essex, well, the playing 11, it is Adam Wheater, Will Buttleman, Michael Pepper, Matt Critchley, Josh Rymel, Paul Walter, Jamal Richards, Aaron Beard, Shane Snater, Ben Allison, and Sam Cook. That's the playing 11 for Essex Eagles. And for Somerset, it is Will Smead. Well, he's one talent you would want to look forward to. Had a great PSL just a few days back. Tom Banton, the star, is also in the playing 11. James Hildreth, Tom Abel, Tom Lambie, George Barlett. Lewis Gregory is another exciting prospect in that playing 11 for Somerset CC. Lewis Gregory is one of the upcoming talents, and he's one talent you would definitely not want to miss. Ben Green, Rolf van der Merwe, the experienced Rolf van der Merwe, Casey Aldridge, and Max Waller. These are the playing 11 for Somerset City. We are at the Tolerance Oval right here at Abu Dhabi Cricket, just besides the magnificent Zayed Cricket Stadium. And the news from the middle, yet again, just in case you've joined us right now, is that Essex has won the toss, Essex Eagles, and they have decided to bat first. Now that is going to be a very, very interesting call. It's a belter of a wicket, looks really good, hard green wicket. And we'll see what it holds for both these teams. We're just about to start the proceedings in a few minutes. The umpires are all ready, and so are we. Looking forward to this exciting game of cricket. It's the first game on this tour where Essex Eagles will be taking on Somerset. So both these teams will be looking to win the bragging rights in this game. Of course, it's a tour that they all will be looking forward to. We are just about to start the English summer back home, and this will be a good, positive start for teams coming out here, getting used to the conditions, and starting on a winning note. Essex Eagles taking on Somerset CC. My name is Shoaib Ahmed, and we'll start play in approximately 10 minutes from now. That's Lamon Bay on your screens. A very relaxed looking dugout. And why not? They've been waiting for this season to start. Some of their players have actually done really well. Will Smith, Tom Banton, Gregory Lewis. So a lot of stars in both these teams. We will be starting soon, as you can see. The news is that Somerset have won the toss and they have decided to bowl first. It is an exciting day. Both these teams looking forward to fight against each other. Of course, this is a rivalry that is not a recent one. Centuries of competitive cricket between these two sides. Essex Eagles, that's the one day or a T20 name for the team, for the county. Essex Eagles taking on Somerset this evening while we await for the proceedings to begin. Essex County Cricket Club, one of the 18 first-class county clubs within the domestic cricket structure of England and Wales, founded in 1876. Definitely one of the top teams, one with a rich background of history, has had tasted success time and time again. And has given a lot of international stars. A lot of players from Essex have gone on and played a big part in English cricket. And so has Somerset. Both these teams, like I said, have great history when it comes to county cricket. And the news, as we said, is both these teams playing their first game in this tour. And we spoke about a few players. Will Smith was definitely one of them, and he was in the news just recently. Has had a wonderful run in the PSL. Just 20 years of age. And what a talent he is. Definitely someone we are looking forward to, raring to display his talent. Was a part of the Quetta Gladiators in the PSL, Will Smith. And not once but twice was very close to getting his maiden T20 100. Scored a 97 and a 96 if I'm not wrong. Definitely one of the exciting talent prospects coming through the ranks of English cricket. Just waiting for the proceedings to begin. If you've just joined us, the match is between Essex Eagles and Somerset. Both these teams are on a tour just before the start of the county season in England. We are at the Tolerance Oval right here at Zayed Cricket Stadium. Again, top class facilities for cricket. And time again, we've seen some top teams from around the globe coming here and using these facilities just to make sure that they get that high level of cricket and exposure, especially in the Middle East, especially the subcontinent, the Asian conditions. Right, so here we go. The teams walking out. And so are the two batters. So Essex, the two batters for Essex walking out in the middle. And this is one of the games that set the tone for the season. Of course, it's a friendly game, it's a practice game, but nothing is friendly about this. I can assure you that. You will see some really tough competition, and they would want to win this game and start this season on a winning note. So everything to play for both the teams here. Especially for the two batters out there. Here we go. Ball number 1. Nicely bowled. Good start there. Nicely driven, but straight to the fielder. Lets that one go, will be called a wide. He will have to bowl that again. Nicely played up and over the extra cover fielder. This one's going to go all the way. That's the first boundary of the season, the first one of the game as well. And what a great way to start the proceedings. Essex looking really good. Just a little bit outside off, and that is all what was needed to play that up and over the extra cover fielder. So good start, positive start, and that's what you need in a T20 game. You want to take the attack to the opposition. That will definitely put some pressure on Casey. How does he come back is something we'll be looking forward to. Up little full, driven nicely, but there is a fielder who will stop that. So Adam Wheater has started off well and he's looking good. He's middling the ball well. That's a positive sign for Essex as well as Adam. Much better. A good length, a good comeback from Casey. Last ball of the over. Nicely driven again. Right from the meat of the bat, but won't get a run for that. End of the over. First over done, and Essex are 5 without loss. Played outside off. There is protection in the deep. The third man fielder will cut that. And that means another single added to the scoreboard. Will Buttleman is the man on strike. Big appeal. But the umpire is not interested. Good start from Jack. He's kept it tight. He's trying to attack the stumps, and that is something good. That is what is a tried and tested formula when it comes to T20 cricket. Keep it close to the batsman, not allowing any width. Oh, that's some innovation there. A half-hearted appeal, not convincing enough, but that is a risky shot, especially right now, earlier in the innings, when you've not set yourself in. That is a high-risk shot. Will is lucky to still stay out there and face another delivery. Again on the up, but finds the fielder. So Jack Brooks continues, takes the under edge. Well kept, very well kept. Jack Brook has managed to keep things tight. Just a single of the four deliveries that he's bowled so far. Last ball of the over with a slip in place. Nicely driven, but again finds the fielder. So some really good shots, but haven't resulted in a lot of runs. 2 overs up. Essex are 6 without loss. Up in the air, but in the gap. Won't go all the way, but 2 runs on the offer. Good running between the wickets. That was just a little risky. Luckily, not into the hands of the fielder. Guided away this time towards the third man. Fielder will just be a single. Casey Aldridge has hit the right lengths. Again, a short ball played up and over this time, and will go all the way. That's the first 6. Not where he wanted it to be hit, but he'll take that anyway. Will Smeed, apologies, it's Will Buttleman who's hit that shot, and he's hit that with a lot of conviction. That's gone the distance. And that is really good from Will Buttleman because he was anticipating that short ball and played that up and over the keeper's head. Always a safe place to hit that shot. No fielders there. This time he goes straight down the ground, hasn't timed it too well. But we'll get a couple more. So clearly, Will Buttleman has taken a liking towards Casey. He wants to take the attack and wants to capitalize on the first 6 overs, which is not a bad idea. With the power play overs in effect, just 2 fielders outside the circle, he's got a license to go for the kill, and that is exactly what he's doing. Much better delivery. This is where he would want to be bowling closer to the batsman, at the right length, at the good length. So not a lot of opportunity or a chance there for Buttleman to go for a big hit. Does the right thing, just nudges it for a single. Driven in the gap, beautifully placed, well timed, chase for the fielder, but it's not going to help. That's gone the distance. That'll be another boundary. A good shot to end the over, and this one over has definitely turned the tide in Essex's favour. 3 overs gone, 22 without loss. Beautifully driven again and equally well fielded there. That could be a run out. Brilliant effort in the field. Top class fielding. Diving to his left and almost effecting a run out there. Top class cricket on display here at Tolerance Oval at Zayed Cricket Stadium in Abu Dhabi. If you've joined us just now, welcome. My name is Shoaib Ahmed, and I'm bringing you live scenes from Tolerance Oval. Essex Eagles taking on Somerset. It's Jack Brooks. Much better delivery, fuller in length, wanted to drive that. It's all about playing with the mind of the bowlers and the batters. It's a physical game, but yes, it's a mental game too. And that is what is on display here. This time a short ball has been pulled. There is a fielder there. Will Smead will cut that off. 2 more runs added to the total. Swing down the leg side, will be called a wide. This is one aspect that you would want to control as a bowler. Giving away those extras, those will come back to haunt you. Every run matters. They've bowled well so far. Stepping down. Some really good intent there from Adam. Both the batters have shown some aggression early on in the innings. Just 3.3 overs bowled so far. 26 on the board. A good positive start is key, especially in the first 6 overs. Somerset, on the other hand, will be looking for wickets. That's the only way you can build pressure. get those wickets and stop the flow of runs. A decent over so far. Not a boundary conceded in this over. Just 4 runs off it. Can he finish it off well, Jack? Oh, yes, he does. Very well bowled. A dot ball to end the over. 4 overs gone. Essex are 26 without loss. So Will Buttleman will be facing the 5th over. Lewis Gregory has been brought into the attack. Change of bowling. Starts off with a fuller ball on the stumps, driven nicely, but again finds the fielder at short covers. Essex versus Somerset at the Tolerance Oval, Abu Dhabi Cricket. This time played in the gap. Well fielded there. Adam is on 10 of 9. Will is on 15 of 17. That's a good partnership there. .27 on the board for Essex, and I've been joined in the comm box with a special appearance. It's Josh Davey from Somerset. Josh, good evening and welcome.
Evening, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you. And welcome to UAE.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Nice to see some sun, get some sun, even though it's obviously gone down now. But
of course, tell us about the preparations going on and how's your experience been so far?
No, it's been really good. Obviously, we got here probably 5-6 days ago now. We've had some training, got ourselves going, and this is our first game. So, second game now, first day of games. So, blowing a few of the cobwebs away, and the boys really enjoying it. So, good.
It's a good start here for Essex. Of course, Somerset will be wanting to take some wickets here and put some pressure.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, good start. Obviously, wickets are a great way to slow the run rate. So if we can get a couple of wickets here, we'll hopefully slow that run rate right back down.
A decent start, yes. Haven't taken a lot of risks. Lewis Gregory. Nicely driven into the gap. That's a cracking shot, and it's gone all the way for yet another boundary. So runs coming in thick and fast.
Lovely shot there from Adam Wheater. Obviously Lewis just trying to execute a Yorker there. Wheater getting back in his crease and getting that through the offside. Yeah, it was a great shot.
Well, how important is this tour when it comes to the coming season? I'm sure it's the English summer and a lot of big matches lined up. So this is definitely one of the stepping stones.
Yeah, of course. Obviously the English weather's not that reliable. So especially March, March time. So out here, you know what you're going to get. So we're going to get time on grass. We're going to get bowlers in the overs in the bowlers' legs, batters get the time in the middle that we need. So it's really important because obviously we get back home, we could easily have 2 or 3 weeks of terrible weather and we just don't get that preparation we need. So to get out here and get time out in the middle and time in the sun is so beneficial for us.
Of course, yes, perfect setting, perfect playing conditions, and of course top class facilities here at Abu Dhabi Cricket. So
yeah, I mean the facilities here are, they just seem to keep getting better and better. So what a place to come and train.
So 5 overs gone. Somerset, the bowlers have done a decent job. Of course, a wicket would definitely had helped them a lot, but not to be, and changing the bowling. Rolf van der Merwe has been brought into the attack. Again, one of the experienced players in the side.
Yeah, Will is obviously very experienced. One of those players that can bowl at any point in the innings. So drawing his experience here. And
That's up
he's got a
and
wicket.
taken. Well, the experience does matter, and that is what is on display here. Van der Merwe getting that first wicket on the very first ball. Such an impact player, Van der Merwe.
Yeah, obviously, he's one of those players you can draw on at any time with the experience, and he's come to the fore there with an important wicket, especially in the last over of the power play.
Right, so it's Adam Wheater who's taking the walk back. A good start, but couldn't continue and take that further. Has to walk back. And that is the wicket that Somerset were desperately looking for. So Josh, a little disappointed not playing the game tonight?
Unfortunately, I had quite a big injury. I picked up in the World Cup actually out here playing for Scotland. So I've had 2 surgeries on my groin and still recovering. So nearly there. So hopefully not too much longer, and be back out there playing.
Well, you've had a great run in the World Cup. Scotland as a team did pretty well. Of course, they would have loved to win a few more games.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it was a great experience. And again, what a great place to play out here as well. And getting to play in Oman, actually, I'd never been to Oman, so I really enjoyed that. But yeah, Scotland as a team did really well, and hopefully we can build on that for the World Cup at the end of this year.
Van der Merwe continues, starts off well. He has not a lot of time left for the next World Cup, going straight into the round 1 in the qualifiers. So
it comes around quick after a tough, a long English season, so a lot to look forward to.
yeah, I'm sure. This time, this one has been played in the gap, a chase for the fielder there. We'll cut that. .34 on the board for Essex. What do you think is a good score, Josh?
Well, I think it probably does get a little bit better under lights to bat. We managed to post a score of nearly 200 first game, so I'd say a good score would probably be around sort of the 180 mark, I reckon. But obviously not being out there, not experiencing the conditions, it's quite hard to say.
Yes, it looks like a good wicket. Meanwhile, an appeal there, but just a half-hearted appeal. So 34 on the board, last over of the power play in progress. Played on the back foot and a quick run that could be suicidal had that hit the stumps. Well, a very risky run in the context of the game. They just lost a wicket. End of over number 6, and Essex are, well,
Scoreboard's right.
they've just lost 1 wicket. That's what we can say for sure. So Josh, how different is it playing here in the UAE or in the Asian subcontinent compared to back home? Of course, the weather is different, but other than that, do you think there's a big difference?
I think obviously the surfaces are different, but the biggest difference is the weather. Definitely, getting yourself acclimatized to how hot it is here. It's a big shock when you start playing. But I think no, that's probably the main thing. The wickets you can adjust fairly quickly, but the weather does take a week or so to get used to.
Yeah. Well, it's the other way for the players going from here and playing in the English conditions. They take a lot longer to get used to the conditions there.
Yeah, I mean the cold.
Yeah.
It's better coming to warm than cold, isn't it? So
It is. So you've been a part of Somerset for quite some time now. How's your experience been? I'm sure you played for Middlesex as well before, and then you moved to Somerset, and things have looked good for you as well on a personal level.
yeah, personally, it's what season. I'm in my so we moved in 2013, so be my eighth season, ninth season here. So I've absolutely loved my time here, and it's allowed the club have allowed me to develop as a player and become the player that obviously I wanted to be. So long may that continue, hopefully.
Well, hopefully, yes, you've been doing well for yourself and for Scotland as well.
Yeah, I mean, drawing on the internet, they dovetail so nicely, like being able to go away and play in the winter for Scotland and bring back the experiences that I have away with Scotland against some of the best teams in the world is a brilliant experience to come back and develop my skills.
Sure. So spin from both ends as we see Waller coming into bowl. Not a big turner of the ball, Waller, but is very consistent with his line and lengths.
Yeah, I think Maxwell looked to mix up his pace here. Try and keep the pressure on, try and get through the over quite quickly. See if he can sneak in and over.
Meanwhile, Essex are 44, 45 with that single. The new man in is Robin. Will Buttleman staying put from the other end, holding that end up, scoring a runner ball 23. And I think that's the key, right, Josh, where you can just manage to hold the wickets until the death overs and then go all guns blazing in the last 5.
Yeah, I mean, wickets in hands in T20 are so crucial. If you can, as a fielding side, you continue to take wickets, you don't really have that platform at the end to really launch an attack on the death overs. So that's something that is so important, I believe, in T20, is keeping a good or having a top 4 batter in the last, let's say, 3 or 4 overs is so important.
Yes, that's right. And also about the middle overs, of course, there's a lot being talked about the first 6 overs and the death overs. But one very important part of the T20 innings is the middle overs and how you handle those middle overs. What effort and what kind of approach is taken to tackle those middle overs, because that is also a very important part of the innings which we normally don't take it into consideration as much as we do the first 6 and the last few overs.
Yeah, I think if you're not proactive, like you said, in those middle overs as a batter, like looking to run hard, hit the sweepers hard, try and get 1s into 2s, then they can sneak by quite quickly, and before you know, you're heading in towards the death overs. So something we always say as a non-negotiable is how we run between the wickets as a side, and luckily we've got great batters in the middle order that are able to do that.
That's such an important point, yes. Very interesting. Running between the wickets is so crucial. There you see 2 runs taken, quick runs taken. That is what we are talking about. Putting pressure on the fielders, running hard, and keeping the scoreboard ticking.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually a perfect example of what is quite a good approach, especially if you're trying to rebuild. If you've lost wickets, that's a great way of rebuilding an innings, is get yourself going with 1s and 2s, and then when the ball's there for you to hit, you take it.
That's right. Also the dot balls. The lesser the dot balls, the more impactful the innings is. Meanwhile, one shot too many. It's gone up in the air. Two fielders converging underneath it. One of them goes for it and grasses it.
Jack Brooks.
Jack Brooks, the fielder there, in question. Give us your thoughts, Josh.
Well, that went very high, didn't it?
It did, yes.
Never easy in the night sky like this.
That's true.
To judge the depth of the ball, especially when they go that high.
Absolutely, and also the angle that it's coming in. It's not an easy catch. But as a bowler, that must have hurt Ben.
Oh, obviously desperate for that to go into the see that go into the fielder's hands.
Got a chance there for Will. Meanwhile, it's Robin Das, who's on 8 of 10. Essex get to that 50-run mark. Will be a dot ball. So 7.4 overs bowled so far. Essex are 50 for 1. And this is where it all matters, the middle overs and how they tackle those middle overs. Somerset, on the other hand, will want to keep the pressure on. And as you can see, the fielders, Josh, they're not on the ropes. They're a few yards inside the boundary ropes. Cut
Guys,
those singles and doubles.
Reading the situation there, that these two may not be looking to play the big shot as of yet, so they're just creeping in off the rope, trying to stop the twos, while still being aware that the bad ball may be there for them to hit. But at the moment, they're trying to create that pressure, shut the twos down, and build pressure that way.
8 overs gone, 51 for 1 is the score for Essex. Will Buttleman and Robin Das are the two men out there for Essex. So just that one over from Lewis Gregory. And now there's another spin bowling option here. Ben has been brought into the attack.
It's Max Wallace still.
Oh yes, it is. That's gone high up in the air. Catch it is the call. This time, no mistakes.
It's well taken and out there by Casey Aldridge.
Yes, Casey Aldridge, the tall, lanky, fast bowler, takes that catch, completes the dismissal. Is it Robin Das?
Mark Pepper. I think the scoreboard was the
Wrong.
names are wrong.
Well, wicket number 2 is down.
It's tough when everyone's wearing different shirts to identify everyone.
Yes, it is. But that's a big wicket. That's a very important wicket at a very important time in the game. Because for a new batter to come in and play his shots, it's going to take some time.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, the run rate only at about 7s there, so we've done well at building pressure and putting the pressure back on the Essex batters there, and pressure leads to obviously a big shot to try and release it. And fortunately for us, he didn't get enough of that, and he was caught in the deep there.
A vital breakthrough there from Max. That will definitely put the brakes on the run scoring from Essex. A no ball being called by the umpire. That's unusual for a spinner.
Yeah, Max will be frustrated with that, but I know he's been working on his run-up recently, and he's been trying to put more pace into it. So that's what these games are for, I guess, to iron out the creases and get it right for the season.
I'm sure they want to iron things out nice and clear, heading into the big season. Reverse sweep brought out.
He'll be happy that hasn't cost him
Yeah,
too much there.
that free hit, not able to capitalize on that one. Bowl's really nice and tight, doesn't allow a lot of room, doesn't give a lot of width, Max. And in a way, he entices you to go and play straight down the ground, which is the longer part of the boundary.
Yeah, especially the dimension of this ground, you don't want to be dropping short. You want to be looking to get hit straight, keeping the stumps in play as much as you can. So Max is doing a good job at that.
Yes, doing the job for his team, Max, bowling some really good quick overs, and has also managed to get a wicket. So good day for Max so far. A cautious start from Essex. Another reverse sweep, this time plays it fine in the gap, and the ball will trickle away towards the third man fence for a 4.
Max will be frustrated there, obviously, because the extra ball has led to that boundary. So
Yes, that last ball has definitely dented that over. It was a good over until that last ball, and as you rightly mentioned, that free hit, that extra ball costing him that boundary. So 9 overs gone, 59 for 2. Catch it is the call, and he takes that catch. That's another wicket. Well, wickets falling in clusters here. Partnership is the need of the hour for Essex. But right now it's Somerset taking that edge over Essex.
Lewis Goldsworthy coming to attack there. We chuffed to get a wicket first ball, but it does look like spinners, maybe the wicket's starting to break up a little bit as it's the second game. It does look like spinners having quite a effect on the game. It looks quite hard to score against, so we can utilise that quite well with 3 spinners in our attack.
Well, the spinner's doing the job for Somerset right now, that's true. And normally you see that a lot in the subcontinent, the spinners coming into a play a lot more than you would see in English conditions. The ball tends to move, turn a lot on these pitches. And that's the real test, the litmus test for the batters of Essex. .1 overs, Essex are 59 for 3. Another single, and Essex will be happy taking those singles, trying to build a partnership. Josh is on 6 of 7, Paul on a runner ball 8, and that shouldn't matter. Meanwhile, Somerset will be looking for some more wickets. They need to keep the pressure lid on. Very well played for another single. So singles are not a problem for Essex right now. Josh Rymel and Paul Walter are the two batters out there in the middle for Essex. Coming around the wicket, Casey, for the left-handed Paul. Going for the big heave, missing it completely. Josh Rymel made his T20 debut in 2021 for Essex in the T20 Blast. It's gone high up in the air. Catches the call. Fielder coming underneath it. Lamanbhai will take that catch. And that's another wicket down. Essex losing their way in the middle overs. Somerset have been managing to get those wickets time and time again. This time it's Casey Aldridge who gets a wicket in his name. It has been expensive, but he's also managed to get some success. This time it's Josh Rymel who's taking the long walk back. Was not needed. He will be disappointed with himself. Scoring just 7 of 8 deliveries. Nicely flicked off the pads for a single, as Essex have just recently started this tour. Meanwhile, it's Paul Walter who's still out there in the middle, number 22 jersey. Left-handed batsman on the non-striking end. Josh Rymel is actually come out to bat. Number 49. Apologies for the confusion. But it's Josh Rymel who's the new man in. Paul Walter is on 8 of 10. Plays it straight down the ground. Beautiful shot. Won't go all the way, but they'll get 2 runs. That's a good shot. Safest area to be playing. Hitting it straight back over the bowler's head. So it's Paul Walter, and alongside him is the new man who's joined in for Essex. Matt Critchley. 12.5 overs gone. Essex are 85 for 4. So that's the bowling card for Somerset. A good mix of bowlers. 7 bowlers used so far, and that is a normal sight when it comes to practice games or games like these where every bowler needs exposure and some match time. Here we see Green again coming into bowl. Slower delivery played with soft hands and will take another single. .1 overs bowled so far, another 7 overs to go, 6.5 to be precise. Matt Critchley is the new man in. .25 years of age, Matt Critchley. Made his first class debut in May 2015. So he's been around for quite some time. He played his first game against Glamorgan. And in the very second game, he became the youngest player to score a century for Derbyshire. So that's some talent right there, Matt Critchley. And what a good time to come out for Essex and get them out of trouble. Because as of now, they're tottering at 87 for 4 and they need someone to put their hands up and take this team to a decent total. 180 from here looks like a distant dream. But dreams do turn into reality when it comes to T20 cricket. We've seen that so very often. As we see another big hit from Paul Walter. Originally, number 10 was a bowler in his earlier career days, but then was picked as a batter and has been phenomenal with the bat. Paul Walter has turned himself into a match-winning batsman. Ben Green, meanwhile, ploying his technique, getting a good ball in, almost a yorker. Paul Walter made his first-class debut batting at number 10. However, was later picked as his number 3 batsman and even as an opener in limited overs cricket. Change of fortunes, they say. Perfect example. Nicely played that one. Right from the meat of the bat. That was hit hard. Went so fast towards the long on fielder. There was never a second chance for another single. Just 1 run to end the over. 14 overs gone. Essex are 91 for 4. So spin bowling being brought back into the attack. And the right call, I reckon. They've been managed to stop the flow of runs and also take wickets. Max continues. Max Waller has been very impressive in the game so far. Has kept things tight, 2.2 overs, just gave away 14 runs and has also taken a wicket. And what I like about him is that he bowls it really full, really close to the stumps. And always inviting the batsman to play it straight, not allowing any width or giving away any room. And that has posed a serious question, a threat, and that is why he's been so economical in this match so far. This time short and has been pulled. Well, we say that he was so good, so great when it came to that line and length, but this time he falters and Paul Walter makes full use of that, plays it in the gap and gets 4 runs. Stepping straight down the ground this time. Chase for the field. The diving effort won't stop that. Beautifully done. Paul Walter coming to the party right now. One shot on the onside and this time he darts this one straight down the ground. Beautifully hit. Well timed. And in the gap for 4. Quicker from Max Waller, and that is such a regular phenomena with the spinners. When they're hit for runs, they want to bowl it quick and tight. End of the over with that single. 15 overs gone. Essex are 102 for 4. Big heave and a miss. That angling across the left-hander, that angle, that coming round the wicket is a good ploy, cramping him for room. Paul Walter wanted to go on the onside, misses it. And the ball lands into the hands of the keeper. So good start. This time Fuller and nicely driven. There is a fielder in the deep. Will just be a single. Short ball pulled beautifully, handsomely. Fantastic shot there from Matt. That went crashing into the boundaries for another 4. Beautiful hitting. Such a treat to watch. He's made that look so easy. And a lot of that has to do with the ability to read the ball early. As soon as the ball left the bowler's hand, he knew that it's going to be shot. Waited for it and pulled it handsomely over mid-wicket for a 4. 108 on the board now for Essex. Slowly there's a partnership brewing between these two players. And that's a good comeback. Very good comeback from Ben Green. Nice ball, good carry as well. Got some extra bounce on that occasion. 108 on the board. 160. Can they get to 160? Maybe 170. But the bowling has been really good from Somerset. They haven't allowed the batters to free their arms. Have always kept things tight. And they've also managed to get wickets at regular intervals. And when you do that, you're always in the game. Should get a couple of misfield there. Normally you see all the fielders are really good inside the 30-yard circle or even on the boundary ropes. We've seen some exceptional fielding here from Somerset, but on that occasion misfielded, and what could have been just a single has resulted in 2 runs. A single to end the over. 16 overs gone. Essex are 111. Nelson on board for the loss of 4 wickets. So 16 overs gone, Nelson on board, 111 for 4 as Lewis Gregory has been brought into the attack. Starts off with a good short ball on the hips. Nicely played there by Matt. And we'll get a single 112 on the board, so no drama there on Nelson. We've seen that a lot of times. You either see a big wicket or you see a big hit when you're on Nelson. But on that occasion, just a single. Lewis Gregory, again one of those players who have played a lot of cricket, very experienced. That one will be called a wide, straying down the leg side, Gregory. A good all-rounder. Also played for England in November 2019. That's when he played his first game, his international debut. (29 years of age), Lewis Gregory. Short ball up in the air, will find the keeper. And that's a good short ball from Lewis Gregory. The element of surprise taking a toll. Wanted to play that pull shot, was in no position whatsoever. And Paul Walter is walking back. He takes that long walk back, will be disappointed with himself. Was looking really good, played some really good hits. But one shot too many. And Paul Walter heads towards the dugout. That's wicket number 5 down for Essex. And the score on the board is 114 for 5. So Essex are 114 for 5. Half the team is back in the hut. As now Jamal joins Matt Critchley into the middle. Lewis Gregory continues. Has got a wicket, but just looked a little wayward, Lewis Gregory. Of course, it's start of the season, so you can expect him not to be at his 100%, but again, an exceptional talent. Has played a lot of T20 cricket across the globe, a globetrotter in the true sense of the word. Plays for Somerset, has played for Rangpur Rangers, Peshawar Zalmi, Brisbane Heat, Islamabad United, Trent Rockets, Karachi Kings. So a lot of exposure when it comes to T20 cricket. Lewis Gregory. A very smart, thinking all-rounder. And that is a special talent to have. You need to be on your toes. You need to outfox your opponent, your batter, and that is exactly what Lewis Gregory is really good at. On the back foot, nicely played by Jamal. Won't go all the way. Good fielding in the deep. Jamal gets off the mark with those 2 runs. Essex move on to 117 for 5. Very well bowled from Gregory. That was quick. Completely beaten by pace on that occasion, Jamal. But he'll still manage to sneak a single. Leg bye signalled by the umpire. One more run added to the total. Matt Critchley plays that down the ground. The long on fielder will cut that off. Another 2 runs added to the total. Somerset wouldn't mind those singles and doubles. Well and truly in the game are Somerset. Essex, after the end of the 17th over, are 120 for 5. So 3 more overs to go as Jack Brooks has been brought into the attack. Starts off on the stumps. And we'll see a lot of that in the coming few deliveries. Targeting the stumps, getting those Yorkers in, darting Yorkers. We see that so often during the death overs. Jack Brooks has bowled 2 overs, given away just 6 runs. Another good delivery, played it up and over, extra cover. Oh, that could be run out, that could be suicidal. Going for that second run, which was never there. Jamal Richards has given away his wicket, gift wrap for Somerset. So Jack Richards is on his way back, and well, he's just that occasion just got over him. There was never a second run. Went for it anyway, and we've already seen that during this first inning. Somerset have been really, really good with their fielding. They've been on the money. They've been aggressive. They've had the right fielders in the right place. The placement has been exceptional. And when you do that, you're always putting pressure on the batters. And pressure it is on Essex. Good ball there, a really good ball. Jack has been exceptional. He's been fantastic, fabulous. He's bowled the right lengths. And he's kept it really tight. Nice and full on the off. And again, well, the commentator's curse works its magic. I've been speaking so highly about the fielding from Somerset, and what we see is another fumble, another misfield, giving away a single. Slower delivery from Jack Brooks this time, played straight down the ground. Singles won't hurt Somerset, while Essex will take whatever they can get. They've lost quite a few wickets in the middle overs. And when you do that, it's always difficult to score runs in the death. Short ball, nice ball. No answers to that. End of the over, a successful over for Somerset. "18 overs gone. 124 for 6 Essex. 2 more overs to go. A run rate of 6.89. Somerset will be very happy with that performance. 2 more overs. How many more can Essex get? All the bowlers doing the job for Somerset. Lewis Gregory comes into bowl, a full toss, hand straight to the fielder. Those are not easy takes, I tell you. You're not sure whether you want to go take that heads on or take a few steps back and try to hold on to the ball and save the boundary. And you don't have much time to decide on that either. Does well to stop that ball. Just a single will be added to the total. Lewis Gregory looking for that Yorker. Gets away with a full toss. Makes room for himself, plays it in the sweeper cover region, will only be a single. This has been a great performance from Somerset. Matt Critchley is still out there in the middle, 19 of 16 for him. Aaron is the other batter who's joined him. Aaron Beard. Well bowled by Lewis. Well, he's a dead bowler specialist. He knows his job, he knows his job profile, he knows what is expected of him. And time again, comes out and delivers his goods. Exceptional performer, Lewis Gregory. Meanwhile, Matt Critchley looking to score some runs off him. Expect another Yorker or maybe a slower delivery. We'll find that out pretty soon. Slower and fuller. A mix of both. Played it straight down towards the fielder at mid-off. Another run added to the total. 126 is definitely below par. 127 including that single. So whatever they get from here, Somerset will definitely fancy their chances, with the batting getting easier under lights at this scenic Tolerance Oval. And a scenic shot there from Aaron. Wanted to play that lap shot up and over the keeper's head. Again, another successful over coming in from Lewis Gregory. Just 4 runs of the 5 deliveries so far. And another ball yet to be bowled. A perfect template of how you need to bowl in the death overs. Lewis Gregory, right arm over the wicket. Another delivery. Oh, that's another cheeky shot. But finds the keeper. Well done there. Good anticipation from the keeper. Watching the ball till the end, it was a full toss. Could have played it anywhere. But what he does is that he finds the keeper. And Lewis Gregory strikes yet again on the last ball of the third over for Lewis Gregory. 19 overs gone. Essex are 128 for 7. Another lap shot. So those lap shots are never ending. It's like an action replay of the previous shot. This time he plays it up in the air, but that same intent, same result. Another wicket down. Essex are in all sorts of trouble. The tail hasn't wagged, but the bowlers definitely doing their job. Somerset are on a roll. The new man in, Shane. Walks back immediately. In fact, it was Beard this time who played that shot, went for the glory, and finds the fielder. So a lot of bowling options for Somerset being used, and each one of them has done the job. The most expensive of them was Max Waller, and that was just in that one over where he gave away a few boundaries. But other than that, all the bowlers from Somerset have done pretty well for themselves, managing to keep things tight and keep taking wickets at regular intervals. So Shane Snater is the new man in, number 29 on your screens at the non-striking end. Yorker length delivery has been played in the gap. No chance for the fine leg fielder and will go all the way. So a much needed boundary for Essex after a long time. They've got some runs. A little too late. But better late than never, they say, and that is exactly what it is. 132 on the board for Essex. Jack Brooks bowling his fourth over. The last of the innings. 4 more deliveries to go. How many more can Essex get? Number 9 and number 10. Batting out there for Essex in the middle. Big heave and a miss. Well, you can't do much. With just a few balls left, you need to go for every delivery. This time middles it straight down the ground. Looking for 2 and will get there. Good running between the wickets. Shane Snater takes the first run hard and then goes for the second. 134. Short ball, slower bouncer, played up in the air. The fielder won't get there. They're looking for 2 and will get them. Good running between the wickets. That's a positive that Essex can take out of the innings. They've run hard between the wickets. But the middle order has collapsed. Here we go. In the slot, mid-wicket fielder will come into play. This time looking for two. The throw is on the keeper's end, but not a great throw. Another 2 runs added to the total on the last ball of the innings. So 138 is what Essex have managed to score in their allotted 20 overs. Somerset will feel that they've restricted Essex to a score below par on this wicket. 138, is it going to be enough? The best of the overs came in the power play. But other than that, Somerset have managed to keep things tight. And the main reason for that was that they were able to take wickets. Look at that worm. You can see wickets falling almost every alternate over. There was a partnership in the middle overs from the 12th over until the 17th over, but not a lot of runs came in that. And then you saw some wickets falling in the death as well. The bowling has been phenomenal for Somerset. A lot of options being used. The pick of the bowlers was Lewis Gregory, the experienced campaigner, giving away 19 runs in his 3 overs and also managed to take 2 wickets at an economy of 6.33. All the other bowlers were pretty successful, and in the end they managed to score a total of 138 runs. Somerset will come out to bat and will look to chase that total down. Will they be able to do it or not? We'll find that out pretty soon. We'll be back after a short break with the run chase in the second innings. Welcome back to the second innings, Somerset versus Essex Eagles. We are bringing you live pictures from the Tolerance Oval at the Zayed Cricket Stadium in Abu Dhabi. We are already in action as we see the Essex bowlers coming in to bowl. Sam is the bowler who's starting the proceedings for Essex, who are defending a modest total of 138 runs. They need 39. 139 is the target for Somerset, who've come out to bat. Tom Banton is the man who will start the proceedings and will be the opening pair alongside Will Smeed. Both these players are exciting talent. Of course, we all know Will Smeed had a great run in the PSL for Quetta Gladiators. And Tom Banton, well, what a great talent he is too, playing T20 cricket all around the globe. So you've got some really good talent here at display at the Tolerance Oval, where Essex Eagles are taking on Somerset. While the total definitely is a little less than what Essex would have wanted. A minimum of 160 would definitely would have posed some serious questions towards this very strong batting lineup of Somerset. The bowlers have their work cut out right now. And the call of the hour, the need of the hour is wickets. Now Essex, if they can take those early wickets, that will definitely dent the confidence of Somerset going into this run chase. And 138, 139, 140, 145, these type of scores are generally very tricky. You don't know whether you want to go all guns blazing or you want to have a cautious start. And if you do that, a few wickets puts pressure on you. Meanwhile, this one going down the leg side, extras is what Essex will have to control if they want to defend this total. You can't be bowling wides and no balls and gifting away runs, especially when you have a low score on the board in the first innings. In comes Sam Cooke. That was a good ball. Sam Cooke is looking really quick, steaming up nicely. Has a very rhythmic bowling action. Slower delivery outside off. Wanted to make room for himself. A good over in the context of the game. Just 2 runs off it. Somerset are 2 without loss. Good start, very good start. Essex are looking confident. They know they don't have the runs on the board and they will have to compensate that with some really good bowling, really tight bowling and some good fielding as well. If they can effect a few run-outs, take some half chances and convert them into full ones, you never know, cricket is a funny game. Essex would not want to go down without a fight. I'm sure they'll put on a great show tonight. It's not going to be easy for Somerset. As in comes Aaron. Started off really well. 2 dot balls to begin with. Aaron, 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 Beard. takes the edge. But there is protection in the deep. Jamal Richards, the man. So just a single. Three runs on the board for Somerset. Short ball pulled up in the air. Fielder coming underneath it. It's a high ball, but will be taken in the deep. So Essex strike in the second over of the game. And Will Smead has to take the long walk back. But all that build up, Will Smead, with the great run of form that he is in, hasn't able to produce an innings tonight. An aggressive looking shot, and that has called for the end of his innings. A good catch in the deep, and Aaron Beard has got his first victim. Somerset lose their first wicket. It's 3 for 1. Jamie Shoaib, please, nice to meet you. Just Will Smead. He got out at square leg. High catch. Short ball, pulled. Right, so this is, I'll just introduce you and then we can just have a conversation. Well, some really good bowling from Aaron Beard has resulted in that first wicket for Essex. And that was the big wicket, the prized wicket of Will Smead, who was in such a great form coming in from the PSL. And to talk about that and much more, I've got with me in the comm box Jamie Potter. Jamie, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, Jamie, tell us your experience and how's it been so far here in Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, first, my personal experience has been a little bit disappointing with picking up a little bit of an injury in my calf. So it's pretty much ended my hopes of playing any cricket on this trip. But just, I think the best thing about these pre-season trips is getting everyone together, being with the squad and spending time together. It's also a great opportunity to see some of the younger lads like Benny Allison today and Aaron Beard after that that beautiful over. Great opportunity to see them play a bit of cricket and show what they can do.
Well, absolutely, I'm sure. We wish you a speedy recovery and hope to see you in action pretty soon. But it's always good to be around these players and share that dressing room and coming on tours like this. Of course, nothing more than getting that playtime out there in the middle, but being on the sidelines also in a way helps you in the development of your personal career as well.
Yeah, it's always great being around the group and being around the lads, and also I quite enjoy being able to offer a little bit of my experience onto some of the younger guys. So that's probably kind of what I'll be looking to do for the remainder of the trip, and hopefully if I can get a few balls down in the last few days, then brilliant.
Well, talking about this game, I think Essex have managed to get a score of around 138, 139. You reckon it's a decent total?
You can only really tell when both sides have batted. It definitely looks a different wicket to what it did in the first game. I think it looks relatively tricky under the lights. Looks like there's been a bit of lateral movement. So yeah, I think it's defendable. Lads going to have to bowl well and field well, but definitely defendable.
Definitely defendable, and we know these kind of targets can be a little tricky. You don't know whether you want to go all guns blazing, go the aggressive route in the first 6 overs, or just take it a little too cautious. And if a few good overs do take place for Essex, then that run rate quickly moves on to 8, 9, and then you're always playing catch up in the later part of the innings.
Yeah, oh, almost ran him out. Oh, double chance.
Triple.
um, yeah, exactly. I think, from our part, wickets are going to be key. Keep taking wickets, and the run rate will keep climbing. And they'll be a lot harder for them to take the risks and to come after us. So that's going to be the key.
Well, yes, it's going to be a very interesting game. I feel it's going to go down to the wire, because both these teams, they're fighter teams. They like to, put on a fight, and that rivalry is for everyone to see.
Yeah, there definitely is a bit of an Essex-Somerset rivalry. It's mostly been in Championship cricket back home. We've had a few good battles go down to the wire in Championship cricket. It's 2019 and 2020 we were first and second. So there's a lot of mutual respect, but we never want to lose to them.
Half-hearted appeal there on the pads. Sam Cook and Beard both looking in top-notch form.
Yeah, they're looking really good. Sam Cook's become such a banker for us. He's such a consistent performer. He's got some unbelievable skills and great control over his line of length. And Aaron Beard's got an immense amount of talent, and so far on this trip he's been really impressive. So hopefully he can get a few wickets for us here and set up a win.
Nicely driven and equally well fielded there. This has been a good overall show from both these teams. End of over number 3. Somerset are 5 for 1. You've been an integral part of Sussex, apologies, and you've been here since 2015, if I'm not wrong. You've also got the Wisden Cricketer of the Year a few years back. So tell us your experience, your journey in the last few years.
Yeah, it's been a great journey. Obviously, starting out back in, I think it was 2014 was when I made my debut for Essex. A lot's changed at the club since then. New coaches, new players. Some people retiring, people leaving, but it's been a great experience. It's a great place to play your cricket. Great bunch of lads, and I've just been fortunate to be a part of it for as long as I have, and hopefully can continue for a while longer.
Shed some light on the tours that you do. Like one of these, you've come here at a very good time. The weather is actually pretty nice playing cricket here. And how important are these tours going into a pre-season preparation?
They're so important. I think you've got 12, 13 days guaranteed weather of good wickets, good facilities. So it's a great opportunity to really get some good time either out in the middle or in the nets under your belt. It's also the thing I like most about these tours is every year you see it. A youngster that might not have played any or very little first team cricket will come out here, put his hand up, will show us that what he can do, and it can be the start of a really exciting journey for some of these guys.
Absolutely. I think this is a great platform to have, especially as you mentioned, for the youngsters coming into the side, up the ranks. And there's always a healthy competition amongst the team members as well to get into that playing 11.
Yeah, well that's the thing. You want, in your squad, you want players putting pressure on the guys in possession of the spots. You want to see the young guys putting their hands up and saying, do you know what, I'm ready to play, and then that's only going to raise the standard within the side.
Absolutely, and I'm sure Beard is definitely one of them. What a great shot that is from Tom Banton. That's being played up and over the square leg fielder. He could just watch that ball sailing over his head. Beautiful shot there from Tom.
Yeah, he's really good at that. That pick-up flick over square leg. He's obviously become a kind of a world-class T20 batter, and yeah, he's someone we want to get out pretty soon, to be honest. Yeah, because he can be tough work if he gets going.
Absolutely, very strong on the onside as we just saw flick. Beautiful use of those wrists, and that ball has gone sailing. We yet to find that ball. But again, it's a good exposure for bowlers like Beard to come out and be bowling against somebody like Tom Banton, who's a world-class player. And this is something that they'll really will be a part of the learning curve as such going into the, the big season.
Yeah, it's also a very good indicator of where your game's at when you test it against probably the most, certainly one of the most prolific top order batters in T20 cricket, certainly in the English game. So it's, if you're a young lad here and you go well, it sends a good message to the coaches.
Absolutely. Talking about experience, you yourself, like you mentioned, have been a part of the setup, sharing your expertise and knowledge and experience. And there's one name that you cannot miss when you're talking about Essex. It's Sir Alistair Cook.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
He's a great man to have around. I think he's currently sat by the pool right now having a night off. No, obviously, you can't really put a price on what he offers us. He's a great man to have around the group. He's got a wealth of experience. Obviously, still a great player, and I think that's one of the areas that puts us above other clubs. Is actually the two people we have opening the batting in Championship cricket. It's priceless, really.
Priceless is the word. Meanwhile, Aaron Beard is looking good. And this is what I like about bowlers right now, especially when it comes to T20 cricket. You are always striving for innovation. You see a lot of slower balls being bowled, a lot of Yorkers being bowled in the first 6 overs. So that has changed a lot. And you think that is very important for somebody like a fast bowler coming in and getting those changes in place?
Yeah, definitely. That's kind of the way the game's going, isn't it? I mean, the beauty of T20 cricket is it's evolving so quickly. 1 year you'll see the knuckleball and everyone's bowling the knuckleball and it's getting loads of wickets. The next year the batters are hitting the knuckleball out the park and it's the back of the hand slow ball, or it's something completely different that we've never seen before. Like it's a tough game to keep up with.
It is indeed, and there's always this constant battle between the batters and the bowlers. They're trying to outfox each other. With one innovation, there is another innovation that comes in, and that is what makes T20 cricket what it is.
Yeah, I mean it's forever changing, and the standards just getting higher and higher. Like you see in young guys like Will Smeed now come in, and from day one they're hitting some of the best bowlers in the world 20 rows back, and the game, the bar is raised again, and the game's changing from that moment onwards.
That's right, and it's also interesting how the county teams have changed and adapted and accepted that change, and they've inculcated that culture in to the teams with the T20 Blast coming in and the 100 coming in. So it's really exciting to see, because from where we came from, for us, county championship was always the epitome of test match cricket. It was a stepping stone of how to get into test matches and the test side. From there to come into something so glamorous like the T20, it's a long journey for all the counties.
Yeah, like it's bizarre time, isn't it? Like I remember when I started playing, you were judged as a red ball cricketer, like in Championship cricket. That was what determined whether you're good or not. Now, there's guys coming into the game that may play for 20 years and never play a first-class game. Like that, I think we'll see that now, and I think it will be good for the game as long as there's an equal level of interest in the Championship game. But I think it's heading in a direction where you'll have specialists for different formats.
That's a very interesting point you made. We'll come back to that. And that's a good ball. That's an interesting ball there. What a great ball to dismiss
James Hildreth, I think it was.
Yes, I think so too. Yes, Ben is the bowler.
Ben Allison, he's been very impressive the last few days. He's put on a yard of pace. His skills look in really good order. He's been bowling a really nice back of the hand slower ball, and he's been pretty relentless on his length. So no surprise to see him get the breakthrough there.
And we were talking about change and innovation, how slower balls can bring you dismissals. That is a perfect example. Just rolling his fingers over and getting that wicket.
Yeah, exactly. He's worked really hard on his skills for this format, and he's been extremely impressive so far.
That's another wicket, and Somerset have really not been able to break the shackles. I think this has been good bowling, a good bowling performance from Essex in the first 6 overs.
Yeah, I think the lads have put their hands up here. You know, we didn't, in the T20 we played before this, we didn't bowl our best, and it's really good to see that the lads have learned from what went wrong in the earlier game and putting it right here. And as I said earlier, wickets are going to be the decider in this game, and so far we're off to a good start.
That's right, wickets are key. The only way you can win this game is by taking those wickets on a regular basis, and that is exactly what the plan seems to be like. The pressure is definitely on Somerset, and as we discussed this earlier, this 138, 139, these are very tricky scores to be chasing. And as you rightly mentioned, the wicket is also looking a tad different than what you anticipated it to be.
It's only going to get tougher as that ball gets softer, field goes out. I think we're in the game here. We've got 4 overs of spin as well. I think it's just a 4. Yeah, Matt Critchley. So, yeah, it's quietly optimistic.
Game is in the balance, you would say?
Yeah, I'd rather be us than them right now.
Right, I always wanted to ask this question to an all-rounder such as yourself. Again, we'll come back to that after this ball.
All-rounder's generous.
No, but you are a batsman who bowls medium pace, right? So
Bowler.
okay.
Don't bat too well.
Well, how do you manage fitness? I mean, how is it different for somebody who's a pure batter or somebody who's a pure bowler? Is it different for somebody who's an all-rounder?
Yeah, I'm probably not the right person to answer that question right now with my calf, but yes, there are different. I mean, bowlers. The reality is, if you wanna have a long, successful career, you've got to make more sacrifices than say a batter would need to, because your body's got to be able to do a lot more, and it's got to be able to do it day in, day out, and that's the tough thing. Anyone can rock up and bowl for a day. It's can you come back and do it the next day, and that's where that's where the kind of 24/7 side of it comes into it, where you've got to go home and it doesn't stop. You've got to look after your body, and then you've got to train your body to be able to do it as well. Whether that's in the gym or getting fit. There's probably a number of things, but it's not easy being a bowler, but it's rewarding.
Well, I'm sure it is not an easy task, that's for sure, coming in and bowling for years and years. But it's also very interesting, because that is a very hard skill to have. Of course, every skill is different, but being a fast bowler definitely takes a toll on you.
Yeah.
In the long run.
Yeah. Well, Exhibit A would be my right calf. Yeah, like it does, but at the same time, it's like anything. With experience comes solutions. You learn what works, what doesn't, what you can do, what you can't do, and you never stop learning, and yeah, over time you just figure out a way to keep coming back.
You do indeed. Meanwhile, it's Somerset who need to do a bit of coming back into the innings, because they look under the pump right now. With Tom Banton, you still would fancy your chances. But as Essex, as you rightly mentioned, they would want to see his back.
Oh yeah, he's the big wicket right now, isn't he?
Oh.
Especially after that shot.
And that's why he's so dangerous. He's so
Yeah.
strong off the pads. This one was not a bad ball, it was just a super shot. And that came off the bat of Tom Banton. Beautifully hit over mid-wicket for half a dozen.
Yeah, he's so dangerous there, isn't he? I mean, you slightly over pitched and he gets you. So we need to be relentless if we're gonna keep him quiet.
Shane Snater, the bowler in question. That's a good comeback on the offside. Much better delivery to be bowling to somebody like Tom Banton.
Yeah, that's the difference in what, a foot 18
Yeah.
inches. It's small margins this game.
That's true. This is a game of small margins and even smaller angles.
Yeah.
Good change of pace there from Snater. Now Tom Banton will want to play deep. He would like to play as long as possible.
Yeah, I think he'll be looking to take this deep. I think they kind of have to now with losing 2 wickets in the power play. I think they'll look to build a partnership between these two. Abel's very good at that, very good runner between the wickets, plays nice strong shots. Be happy kind of hitting it along the floor and just ticking over. So I think they'll look to take it deep and kind of regroup in 6-7 overs time if they can get there.
We saw a lot of spin bowling options from Somerset in the first innings. Do you reckon the same ploy will be taken by Essex going
I
into
think
the
so.
second
I mean,
innings?
we've only got the one spinner available in this game. We've got Critchley, so I imagine he'll bowl his 4 overs through the middle. And then I think it'll be down to the seamers being intelligent. I thought their seamers took the pace off really well, but also their line of length that they bowled it at was good. They were hitting the top of the stumps regularly, so I think that'll be the challenge for our seamers through the middle.
That's right. This time, just erring in his length, Shane Snater, and rightly punished by Tom Banton. The margins of error are very, very less when you're bowling to Tom. A full swing of the bat, that was like a golf shot straight down the ground.
Yeah, that was in his arc, wasn't it? He's so dangerous there when he gets an opportunity to hit the sight screen. So yeah, that's those small margins we talk about. This Jamal Richards coming into the attack now, the youngest, or the second youngest, I think, that we've got out here in the squad. So exciting time for him.
I'm sure, and as you mentioned, putting your hands up on a tour like this will be a big statement.
It will. And he's an exciting cricketer, bowls with good pace, hits the wicket. It's a shame we didn't get to see him have a few overs with the back tonight, because he hits it a long way.
Well, we didn't get to see him perform with the bat, but here we are.
It's a good start. Top of the stumps.
That's right, good length as well. Not under the bat. So I assume he likes to hit the deck hard.
Yeah, he's very good at hitting just short of a length. Gets it through at good pace. Skiddy bouncer. Also, he can hit very good Yorkers at the death. Very good at hitting Yorkers.
Exciting.
A couple of slower balls as well. I'm sure we'll see him take the pace off at some point as well.
That's a good length, equally well played in the gap towards the extra cover fielder, and a diving effort from Snaper.
He's so fast out there.
Very well done. It's actually on the slope, so the ball does travel too fast.
Yeah, it feels like at this ground everything kind of runs away from the middle. Like everything feels uphill.
That's true. A brilliant effort in the fields. Certainly saved a couple of runs. So when you can't do well with the ball, you field well and make up for it.
He's a very good fielder, Snater. very quick, really powerful throw, and he'll throw himself at anything.
This has been a decent start from Jamal. Tell us a little bit more about him. I assume he's from the second 11 of Essex coming through the ranks.
Yeah, so he's just come off the academy, signed a rookie contract. But yeah, he played a bit of second team last year. Well, that's a very
Brilliant
good
slow ball there.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, he's a really exciting talent, so it'll be exciting to see how he develops, and I think we'll certainly see, or hopefully see quite a lot of him this summer, because there's a lot to enjoy about his cricket.
A very confident looking Jamal. He knows what he's doing. He's thinking. He's a thinking bowler.
Yeah, I think he keeps it simple, from what I've seen, which I think is the key in this format. If you can keep it as simple as possible and be clear on what you're going to do, it makes it that little bit easier to execute.
Well, it does, and it takes a lot of confidence for you to come out on a tour like this and put your hands up, as you rightly said. And he looks like a confident bowler who knows what he's doing and not afraid to try. Another slower delivery there, and he well done.
Very good. Yeah, smart bowling. Good over that. Good start. So it's looking good for us here. 31 for 2 off 7. No, it'll be 35. Well, either way, I'm pretty happy with where we're at.
Well, it has been a good start to the second innings for Essex, because for a moment at the end of the first innings we thought that this is a below par score and we might just see Somerset cruising through that total, but that's not the case, because they've lost a couple of quick wickets and Essex have really managed to keep things tight.
Yeah, we've done well. I think this will be an important period in the game for us now, with Matt Critchley coming into the attack. Leg spinner, can spin it both ways, and he's got a good stock of experience, so hopefully he can get us a couple of wickets and see us home.
Starts off with a full toss and a reverse sweep comes into action. That's been played in the gap and will get 4.
Abel's very strong, sweeping both sides of the wicket, so won't be surprised if we see a few more of those from him.
Well, not the greatest of starts from Matt Critchley. And with runs on board, which are not too many, you can't afford to bowl those juicy full tosses. This is a much better delivery. Good comeback.
Yeah, I think rare for Critch to start with a bad ball, but I'm sure he'll bounce back. That's a good shot.
Well done, up and over the square leg fielder. You mentioned he's very strong,
Yeah.
both sides of the wicket, sweeping and reverse sweeping, and he's played both those shots in the first 3 deliveries.
Yeah, it's probably his main strength, Abel, against spin in this format. So yeah, I'm not too surprised that this is kind of where he's looked to push the button a bit.
Nicely driven. So this is smart, sensible batting. He knows he's got runs on the board in that over, so very happy to take that single and rotate strike.
Yeah, I think in this situation that's very sensible.
So where do you bowl when you're bowling to somebody who's really good sweeping the ball on both sides of the wicket?
To be honest, it's not a situation I've encountered too many times as a seam bowler, but not one I hope to encounter. But I think you see kind of in the modern day game, spinners tend to go into the wicket a bit more, um, get them playing off the back foot, hitting out to like the longer boundary. Um, so yeah, that's what I'd say they'd look to do. Um, yeah, I mean it's a tough game, isn't it,
For bowlers,
for bowlers? Yeah, it's a horrible game.
it has, yes, it has not been the very kindest of games for bowlers with
No.
the field restrictions.
Yeah, and I think one day in T20 cricket you can bowl. You can bowl the worst you've bowled and get 4 for nothing, and then
Yeah.
you can have a day where you bowl, execute everything and go for 50. So it's sometimes I think you just have to try and mark yourself on yourself. Did you execute? Yes. Okay. The rest is out of your control.
Snaper continues. Well, thank you so much, Jamie, for joining us. It was a pleasure having you, and hopefully you recover from your injury pretty soon and we see you in action right in the middle. Thank you so much, Jamie.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Cheers.
That was Jamie Porter with me in the comm box, giving us his insights and experience. Some really good running between the wickets. Tight running. Another single on offer. Snaper has been brought back into the attack with a change of ends for him. Another single taken, so rotating strike, keeping the scoreboard ticking. Good fielding effort there, but won't be able to stop that single. Can you share the link in the group? So that I can open it here. That one has been played in the gap and will go all the way. So runs coming in thick and fast. That initial pressure from Essex just not there anymore. This is a very vital and important partnership between Tom Banton and James, who's really looking good, looking dangerous. So you can see that worm, the red worm, the orange worm of Somerset catching up with Essex. Nicely played on the up. Jamal Richards pulled a very decent first over. Continues from the other end, this time played in the gap towards long on. Fielder there. Will just be a single, so he's been looking good. He's mixing it up really nicely, bowling the right lengths, asking the right questions. Hasn't been very easy to score runs off. Outside off a fumble, that was just a single but will now result in 2 runs. A misfield there. Jamal has been very disciplined with his line in length, has kept it tight. Should be looking for wickets. Well fielded in his follow through, not easy for a fast bowler. Steaming in and then stopping the ball while in his follow through. Definitely looking really very impressive is Jamal Richards. Bowls a slower ball this time. Beautifully done, but will be called a no ball. And that means it's going to be a free hit. Yes, a license to go for the kill. Jamal, where would you bowl? What would you bowl? Can you see a darting Yorker in? Bowls a wide Yorker, but way too wide. We'll have to bowl that again. The free hit continues. That was a good plan, just couldn't execute it well. Another slower delivery, played in the gap. Does not have the legs to go all the way. 2 more runs added to the total. So Matt Critchley continues, this time another reverse sweep. It's gone the distance, has it? Yes, it has. All the way for a half a dozen. Beautiful hit there. Masterclass. Modern day cricket for you. If it's in the arc, it will go out of the park. Another reverse sweep. Will find the fielder, just a single. But 7 runs off the first 2 deliveries of this Matt Critchley over. Up and over the extra cover fielder, will go the distance. 4 more. So runs coming in for Somerset as they look to take this game away from Essex. This one's down the leg side, will be called a wide. We'll have to bowl that again. So pressure mounting on Critchley. Walking down the track, high up in the air, fielder coming underneath it, takes a good catch and completes it. No, he doesn't. What a great effort that is. Watched the ball till the end, got hold of it, was off balance, tried to keep it in the field of play, but was not able to do so. So batting definitely getting a lot easier in the second innings. At least that what it looks like. End of the over. That looks close. That looks close. Yes, will be given. The dreaded finger is shown, and that means that is the prized wicket, that big wicket of Tom Banton, playing across the line, misses it completely, and was trapped in front. A good call from the umpire, and that's a big wicket. Somerset lose their third. It's Tom Banton who's walking back. Essex are 86 for 3. Good start from the bowler here. Ben Allison striking. He's bowled well so far. 2 of 2 in his 1.2 overs. Short and wide, but straight to the fielder. George Bartlett is the new man in. Giving company to James Haldreth. 86 for 3. Need 53 more runs at 6.24. Almost a run a ball from here on. Quick single taken. Allison has been very disciplined with his line and length. And he's been rewarded with 2 wickets, 2 important wickets. One of them was Tom Banton. Played straight down the ground this time from James, who's looked really good. 34 of 24 deliveries. Was really very strong with that sweep shot and the reverse sweep hits. Slower delivery, diving effort. Fumble will result in 2 more being added to the total. Somerset move on to 90 for 3 after the end of the 12th over. Matt Critchley to continue. 3 overs, this is his 3rd. In fact, he's been expensive. 31 runs and hasn't taken a wicket, but the skipper still showing some confidence in the spinner. Time to repay that confidence with a wicket. Bowls a quicker one hit on the pads. Has it got some bat onto it? We'll have to wait and watch. No, the umpire says there was some bat. Not a leg bye signalled, and that is what has saved James. But a good ball there from Matt. A quicker one. George Bartlett brings out the reverse sweep, so definitely Somerset and their batters practice a lot of that reverse sweep shot in the nets. When it connects, it looks really good, but when it doesn't, we just get that feeling that you shouldn't have played that shot. Another reverse sweep, timed to perfection, and we'll get 4 more. He's absolutely brilliant when it comes to those sweep shots and the reverse sweep hits. He times it well and he hits it hard. That's gone the distance. 4 more. $96 for 3. 43 more needed for Somerset to win this game. This has been a good batting performance, a good comeback, a good fight from the middle order of Somerset after losing those two early wickets. George Bartlett on 3 of 5, James on 40 of just 28. Flighted delivery outside off. And a single to end the over. 13 overs gone, 98 for 3 Somerset. Hi, Ollie. Shoaib.
How you
Nice to
getting
meet
on?
you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Please sit. Oh,
You want putting the headphones on? Yeah.
So I'll introduce you and then we'll start the
Okay.
conversation.
Sure.
So 13 overs gone. Somerset are 98 for 3. And as we speak about Somerset and the way they're cruising at the moment, I've got with me a special guest from the Somerset side. It's Ollie Sale. Ollie, welcome. Good evening.
Thanks for having me.
Good to
Come
have
today.
you. Well, looks like a good game for Somerset as of now. Great clinical with the ball, and now a good strong comeback in the middle overs.
Yeah, definitely. I think throughout the whole day, actually, the boys have really hit their straps. Obviously, being the first game of the season, we sort of had to set our expectations. Didn't know how things were going to go particularly. We haven't practiced it a great deal, and actually been a really pleasant surprise to see all the guys execute their skills so well.
Well, it's always great to start positively and on a winning note, and of course the rivalry is for everyone to see against Essex, Somerset. Always want to win the bragging rights, don't they?
Oh, for sure, yeah. We've had a few epic encounters with Essex. Not too long ago, they won the championship on our own ground. So, yeah, we're always out to get them for sure.
Well, certainly it's been a good night for Somerset. The bowlers have done the job. You being a bowler yourself, you must be missing out on the action.
Yeah, for sure. It's always frustrating watching. I've watched far too much over the past year, so raring to get out there. But yeah, just a couple of things managing at the moment. So erring on the side of caution at the beginning of the season. But yeah, the boys have been brilliant today, especially those guys that have Brooksy and Brooksy with especially in the first innings. What was it, 5 for 13 or something? Yeah.
That's right. And how are you enjoying your stay here in Abu Dhabi?
Oh, it's been brilliant. Yeah, it's the second time we've come, and yeah, both times we've been looked after so well. Everyone's really friendly, and cricket facilities have been brilliant. They've looked after us really well. So yeah, really good.
Well, of course, the facilities here are to die for. They're world-class facilities, and I'm sure you must be having a great time, especially with the pre-season build-up and the preparation that goes into a long English summer
Yeah,
up
for
ahead.
sure. It's invaluable for us to be able to get on grass at this time of year. In England, it's so hit and miss. Even if you do get on grass, the wickets are very soft and green, and it could rain or whatever. So just to be able to come out here and use some world-class facilities, and every day you can structure a week, and you're going to get some good practice in. So yeah, it's been amazing for us, and hopefully will stand us in good stead going into the season.
Absolutely. And again, this is a top fight between top two premier teams of the county championship. So it's always good to have teams that will be facing each other in the season to come out and practice here?
Yeah, definitely. And like for us, it's ideal to be able to test ourselves against some of the best cricketers in the country. So, and equally for them. So yeah, we're both benefiting from playing each other. And hopefully we can continue the form into the season. We beat them again because we don't want to waste all our wins in pre-season.
Of course, this will definitely matter going into the preseason, how well you prepare from here on.
Yeah, for sure. And like, with everything, winning is a habit. So, it's great that we're getting these results, but ultimately, what matters is come the start of the official season. That's when we're hitting, we're peaking then, and we're going to be able to deliver our best performances then. So, everything from now until then will be leading up to that. But yeah, as I said, it's brilliant to sort of see results going our way already, because as I say, winning is a habit.
Good run there, single stolen from Essex. But you think 139 was always a below par score on this wicket?
If you look at the way today's gone, I'd probably say they were slightly under par. It's been a fairly good wicket. There's few balls that have sort of stopped a little bit and gripped a little bit, but other than that, it's been fairly consistent. And the outfield's good, and especially this evening, the wind's died down a bit, so it's easier to score all around the ground. It's a lovely temperature in the evenings, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think this is the right time to be here, enjoying the weather conditions and also the facility, because a month later and you would be sweating a lot during this time.
I mean, the boys were hot earlier, I'll tell you that. The first game, there were definitely some hot old boys out there.
Yeah, I was talking to Josh Davey earlier, and he too mentioned that coming from a cold condition to a weather like this, it takes a week to settle in.
Yeah.
And it's much easier compared to going from a condition like this into something which is very cold back in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, obviously can't compare, but for us coming out here is definitely a massive challenge. And the amount of water and stuff we have to drink, just because it's just so alien to us, the heat and how much we're sweating and stuff. So we definitely had to be very conscious over our nutrition and how we're replenishing the stuff we're losing, because the guys have not experienced heat like this, especially playing long days. We've got a 2-dayer coming up, so if we spend a day in the field, the guys are going to be hopefully we'll be more adapted by then, but yeah, it's going to be tough.
Well, a lot of cricket to look forward to coming season as well, and then this preparation will definitely help you going into that big season. But coming back to this game, you think something could have been done differently in terms of Essex coming into bat first?
It's tricky, isn't it? Batting first in any game, you're having to set the pace of the game, and I think our guys did bowl well, and we took wickets at quite crucial times, which really stopped their momentum. So yeah, that's sort of the main thing. When you take wickets regularly throughout a T20 innings, it's difficult to keep the scoring rate high. And something that we've been good at today, we've built partnerships, and it's allowed us to sort of really kick on in middle overs. And when you're chasing a low total, or relatively low total, it's you have to take less risk, and it's easy to pace yourself, and the pace is already dictated for you almost. So it is tricky.
Do you reckon it gets easier to bat under lights in the second innings?
You probably have to ask the batters that, to be honest. Definitely, it notoriously does sort of skid on a little bit under lights. I wouldn't say it looks like it has done much more today. It's not noticeably dewy or anything, but around the world, that sort of is the sort of accepted
norm.
Yeah, exactly. That when the lights come on, it starts getting a bit more true and skiddy. But no, it seems to be fairly consistent today. And most of the Essex innings was under lights, I guess, as well. It got dark so quickly, I wasn't used to it. It literally went from day to night, and I just didn't even realise.
Right, as a bowler, as a fast bowler, tell me, how different is it preparing in conditions like these?
It's different with the wickets. Like, obviously, you have to adapt to each wicket you play on. but yeah, as I said, from what we touched on earlier, just the physical aspect of like having to deal with the heat and stuff. If you're bowling 2, 3, 4 spells in a day, it's just how you're managing your energy really, and like making sure that you're still able to run in on the 4th spell and deliver the same stuff. But yeah, I mean, as I said, for us, we really can't complain. Like just the ability to get on grass and
Oh,
no,
that must have hurt. That was on the helmet.
hope he's all right.
George Bartlett. And immediately you see Aaron Beard walking up to him. That was a nasty blow.
Yeah, just sort of didn't really get up, did it? There was a bouncer sort of skidded through, sort of waist height, chest high, and it followed him. Hit him fairly hard, but he seems to be all right. Physio's out there having a word, so it's one thing. Cricket's definitely going in the right direction with the concussion protocols. They're making sure they're looking after guys a lot more.
That's right. The concussion protocols, as you rightly mentioned, immediately you've got a physio in place who's coming out and inspecting if everything's all right. Some basic questions.
Yeah, exactly. What day of the week is it?
Yeah. That's a tricky one. If you're
Literally,
traveling a lot.
what's your name?
What's your name? Yes, that's much easier. Yes. But I think he seems to be all right.
Our physio is going to be very happy with this because he had to pack with his own baggage allowance 6 spare helmets to match
Spare
different,
helmets.
just in case this did happen. So he's pleased. He's going to be pleased. He's going to have to use one of them. He's complaining about how he had no baggage allowance.
Well, I'm sure, yes, he would want some of them to be used at least.
Yeah.
So that can justify. But you're right, such an important role, of course. The unsung heroes, and we don't talk about them much, but they play a very important part
Massively,
in the
yeah.
overall
especially,
setup.
especially in our environment, like everyone is very close with everyone, and you know, I think the conversations that go on behind the scenes help the players so much. You know, even guys going well or guys struggling, or you know, wherever you are, injuries, whatever. Coaches play a massive role in supporting people through that, and yeah, often goes unnoticed.
That's right.
And the physios.
This one's been played straight down the ground for a single. So it's almost as if singles will do the job for Somerset. 31 more needed from 4.3 overs, 108 on the board. Should we say it's a cakewalk from here on?
I mean, you never want to say it, do you? But yeah, you'd like to think we win this game in most scenarios, yeah. Especially with 2 guys that have, you know, faced a few balls today.
Yes, this game time, match time is so important for players.
Yeah, massively. Like you can't, the amount of practices you do, you can't replicate game situations, and especially just being able to play situations like this. You know, in nets, in white ball nets, you might just be trying to hit sixes, whatever it is. But actually, right now, that's not what's required. So yeah, it's brilliant for us. See guys think on their feet a bit.
That's right. Nothing can replace what you learn from a match, and that is exactly what we were talking about. Beautiful shot over extra cover to end the over with a boundary. Thank you so much, Ollie, for joining us. It was a pleasure having you, and hopefully we can see you in action pretty soon.
Not at all. Thanks very much for having me. Oh, yeah, cheers.
Right, that was Ollie Sale with us. So another over comes to an end, and we see that orange worm all over the blue worm of Essex. Cruising at the moment is Somerset. After that initial jolt, they've come back strongly in this game, and wouldn't be wrong to say that they're almost home. Slower delivery played straight down the ground. Jamal has been impressive. One bowler, Essex, will be looking forward to a strong positive coming out of this game for Essex is the way Jamal Richards has bowled in this innings. "24 more needed." Short ball up and over, fielder coming underneath it, and finally that discipline, that hard work, the consistency has paid off. Jamal Richards gets his wicket, the first of this game, and it's George Bartlett who has to walk back. Wicket number 4 down for Somerset. The game is yet not over. Tara, can you find out if I can go from the Alain border? Is it open? Is there any way we can find that out?
The
I
Alain
want
border.
yeah. So I want to go to Oman, and there are two borders. One is the Hatta border. There is the Alain border. So normally we go from Hatta border, which is closer to Dubai,
Yeah.
but the Alain border.
Why should there be a problem
I
with the
don't know,
borders now?
yeah.
Not anymore. Everything's been after March 1st, and there are no borders even with Abu Dhabi.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
I'll just
Just
double
wanted to
check.
confirm.
Yeah. What is it called? The Alain border.
Alain border for Oman.
No, they're residents of the UAE.
We have the visa.
They have the visa. They have the visa. So it's fine through the Alain. Yeah. They have the PCR and everything. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. No problem. As long as you have the PCR and the visa, the border's fine. When you're done, you can call me and just pop back to the office. We're gonna come out.
Well, Somerset are 115 for 4, 24 more needed, and there's drama that's still left in this game. Jamal Richards has got the wicket that Essex were desperately looking for. Good ball there, a Yorker delivery from Jamal. They will still sneak a single. Somerset are 116 for 4. 48 of 34 is James, who's been phenomenal with the bat in his hand. Has made sure that one end doesn't lose wickets. He's held that one end up, and he scored at a very brisk pace. 48 of just 34 deliveries. He's the man responsible to get Somerset out of that sticky situation. But the job is not done yet. Another good ball from Jamal. So he's been looking good. 2.4 overs for him so far. He's given away 18 runs and taken a wicket. Getting the right field changes as well. So the 4 men inside the circle. Point, third man, fine leg. And an extra cover. This one's been played up and over. Fielder coming underneath it and drops it. Well, that should have been taken. Jamal creating that opportunity for another breakthrough. But just a hesitant approach there from the long on fielder results in a catch being dropped. Not easy, those flat catches under lights. But if you want to win matches, you need to take those catches. A low full toss, drilled straight down the ground for another single. End of the over. Could have been a successful over, nevertheless. Jamal completes his third. 17 overs gone. Essex are 120 for 4. Flicked and flicked beautifully off the pads, straying down the leg side. Going for the Yorker, but the direction was not all that right. Easy pickings. Lewis Gregory, the batter that he is, the talent that he won't miss on those. 4 for Lewis. Score moves on to 124. 15 more needed. Nudges that and takes a single. So Somerset can only lose this game from here on. The game is well within their reach. 14 from 16 deliveries is not a tall task. Full toss played in the gap and will go all the way. So not great bowling here from Sam Cook. He's trying for those Yorkers but is not able to execute them, resulting in some easy pickings for James, who gets his 50 with that boundary. What a beautiful innings this has been. Well paced. Did really well and has got those vital 50 runs for himself and his team. He's on 53, and with that single make that 54 for James. Magnificent knock under pressure. 130 on the board for Somerset. Need 9 more from 14 deliveries. Slower delivery and has been played towards the long off. Will get a single. 131 on the board. This is good batting from Lewis Gregory. He knows he's got a well-settled partner on the other end who's middling the ball really well. And all he needs to do is just rotate the strike and give the chance to James to play as much as possible and maybe score the winning runs for his team. Much better delivery, a Yorker length delivery. He's stuck that out for a single. End of the over. 7 more needed from the remaining 2 overs. Somerset looking good. 132 for 4. Nicely played off the pads. Looking for 2, a hesitant run, but will make it in the end. You don't need any more setbacks as Somerset. Jamal Richards gets his 4th over, and rightly so. He's been bowling well. 5 more runs needed. One shot away from victory. This one has been played straight down the ground. Fielder coming underneath it and takes a good catch, completes a catch, completes the dismissal, and Jamal Richards gets another victory. He gets another wicket. A little too late in the game, but that will give a lot of confidence to the young man, Jamal Richards. He's put out an impressive show and has been rewarded with wickets. Somerset lose their 5th, 134 for 5. So Ben Green is the new man in. Plays this one fine, and the fielder is inside the circle, and that means only one thing: 4 runs for Somerset. 138. Scores have been tied with that boundary. 1 more run needed for victory. Ben Green played that late, played that with intent. Hit the gap and got 4 runs. So 1 more run is what is needed for Somerset to win the bragging rights against Essex in this T20 game at the Tolerance Oval at Zayed Cricket Stadium, Abu Dhabi. Here we go. Oh, that's a great ball. Jamal Richards is not giving it up. You'll still need to score that 1 run. 9 more deliveries left in this game. Just 1 run away is Somerset. Getting all the fielders inside the circle. This is a good call from the skipper. Get those fielders in. So just 1 fielder at the square leg fence. Everyone else inside the 30-yard circle. Short ball pulled and will get those 4 runs. So a great way to finish this run chase with a victory. 4 runs for Somerset. 142. They chase that total down with 7 balls to spare. This has been a clinical performance from Somerset. A lot of positives. They were exceptional with the ball, clinical with the bat, and really very good in their fielding as well. Essex, on the other hand, have a lot of thinking to do. There were some positives for them. Jamal Richards, one of them. But their batting has to click, especially the middle order, which could not perform with the bat today, resulting in a score which was always below par. So Somerset win this game against Essex Eagles, and they win this match comfortably in the end with 5 wickets in hand. Tom Banton right up at the top of the order, scoring 43 of 31. James was clinical with the bat, exceptional, got his 50, scored 57 of 41 deliveries, and Lewis Gregory and Ben Green finishing things off for Somerset. Essex, pick of the bowlers, Ben Allison, 3 overs, 9 runs and 2 wickets. Jamal Richards was also very impressive, getting those 2 wickets in his 3.5 overs. 10 extras, that is something that Essex can change and would want to change, resulting in a victory for Somerset. Cruising in the end and making a comfortable run chase against Essex. So Somerset winning this game and winning it comfortably in the end with 5 wickets in hand and 7 balls to spare. We really enjoyed this coverage being brought to you, and hopefully you enjoyed watching this game of cricket. Handshakes all around. Some really good talent on display here. And we hope to bring this action to you the next time around as well. Until then, it's good evening and good night from all of us here at the Tolerance Oval in Zayed Stadium, Abu Dhabi.